Hey everybody, it's Sam here. Thank you for watching. Today I'm going to show you how to make some Slimline gift bags, which are for some of the Showstopper cards that I recently launched, part of my Made to Surprise collection. So I've got this one here, which is the double 6x6 trifold. Then I've got these ones here. This is the 5x7 double trifold. And then I've got these ones, which are the 5x7 double side panel. So they're all slightly different when you fold them flat. And I was saying during the launch that these ones here as a double will go into the 8x8 box envelopes that I already have. So those are already covered, but I thought I'd do a gift bag for them as well. And I just thought it'd be a nice idea to have this Slimline version, and I'm going to have an acetate window as well. So they're going to be quite fancy because it's a gift in itself, these Showstopper cards. So first of all, I'm going to do a Slimline gift bag for this one here, which is the double 6x6 trifold. Now I've got tutorials showing you how to make them with or without dies. If you haven't followed my Made to Surprise YouTube channel, I don't know if I can link the channel up here, maybe. If not, just look in the description box below this video and you'll be able to go over there and subscribe, and you'll be able to get a lot more inspiration as well. It is using dies for that channel, but you can still take inspiration from it. And I do have all of these cards on this channel as well, where I show you how to make them without the dies as well. So something for everybody. But if you've made these cards and you've got something of this size, so actually I'll tell you, this one here is 10x6. Okay, so the gift bag size for this, you're going to want two pieces of 8x12, and along the 12-inch side you're going to score at 1 and 11.5, and then along the short side you're going to score at 7. Okay, so you want to do that twice, and then fold and burnish all of the score lines. Okay, and then on both pieces, in the bottom right hand corner, you have this little rectangle. Just cut that one away, like so, and then just cut a little wedge off of the edge of this 1/2-inch tab, and again at the top there. And then along the bottom here, you're going to cut up this one. Okay, and then just cut a little wedge off of each side there. Now, before I stick them together, I'm going to cut an aperture into the front because I want to have an acetate window. But if you just want to keep it plain, maybe you're going to put some pattern paper on there, you can do. I've already cut the frame. These are using the Card Making Magic rectangles, so I've got these really large ones here. So I used the last two in the gold there, and that's made my frame. Then I want to keep the smaller one, and that's what I'm going to use now to cut my aperture. So this will go through a A4, a larger format die cutting machine. You could also cut it by hand, use your cutting knife, metal ruler. I'm just going to place that roughly in the middle, tack that in place, and just run that through my machine. So that's all cut, but it's very flimsy now, so I need to reinforce it with my acetate. So I've got the Ducraft Paper Mania acetate, the 12x12 sheets. I've been using these for years. They're really strong, but any kind of construction weight, like a 240 micron, you want that heavier weight. I'm just going to place it behind here. So I've got about 1/2 inch overhanging. So I'll just give you the measurements if you want to do something similar. So I'm going to do 6 3/4 by 9. And then I've just got some red tape here. You can just use normal double-sided tape as well. And I'm just going to run that around the edge of the acetate. And then just give it a good burnish. You want that to go darker. That means it's stuck to the card. Okay, so now that's reinforced it again. I can give it all a clean in a moment. Next, we want to add glue to the tab here, and then stick it to the next one there. And that frame is just going to go around there. And I think when that's inside, yeah, just think it's going to make it look really special. Finishes it off nicely. So just take my quick grab glue there and just run that down there. And then just place that over the top. Always focus on the base score line there. Make sure they line up. If it's a little off at the top, you can always trim that. So always make sure your baseline score lines meet. And I'm just going to fold that over, make sure everything's lined up, And then I'm going to add glue to this end. And then just flip it over and just fold that under so it all lines up. And if you've got a little overhang, which I've got there, I'm just going to use my scissors, go from the bottom here and just trim that off. There we go. And just fold it both ways. So then what you want to do is, I always like to pop the back one down first, then stick the sides and then the front one. So it looks nice and neat from inside, and you've also got that nice finish on the front there. I'm also going to use the construction glue for the base, just so it gives it a bit more strength. And the construction glue that I use, and all the glues I use, is linked below the video. So I'm just popping a little bit of glue there and there. Just kind of tack them in place. Don't worry if they lift at the minute, and then run your glue all the way down there. Close that down, and then you can go in with your ruler and just run that right along the bottom. Let's just see how this looks now. You could wrap some tissue paper around it as well if you want, but that is perfect. Really, really happy with that. What height did I do on that one? 7. So yeah, so even if you've got a 7-inch high, that will go in there as well. I need to give that acetate a good clean in a minute. What I want to do now is take that back out. Is I want to just mark with a pencil where I want my handles to go. So I reckon 3.5 is there. How does that look from this side? Yeah, I think that looks good. So 3.5, you want to come in from each side and just pop your holes so they're, you know, well, if you've got a frame, you might not have a frame, but just make sure they're equal there. And then I'm going to use my hole punch here. You don't need the big one for this, it's just the one I've got at hand. Just make sure it all lines up and punch your holes. There's that one and that one there. And then to make it even more special, I'm going to pop some eyelets on there as well. So I've set the eyelets and I've just given my acetate a quick wipe there using some, I just use rubbing alcohol or surgical spirit, they're the same. And then I've got some gold ribbons here. So I'm just going to feed that through and pop little knots on the ends. Okay, so everything's in place. I just got the frame in. I didn't think about that, but it just literally just underneath there. So I'm very lucky with that. And then I've just popped a strip of card over the ends of the ribbon as well, just so it's a little bit tidier. But how lovely is that? I think it really does finish it off. You can pop a little gift tag on there. The next one I do, I'm going to give you the measurements for the other two, but then I'm just going to put them together the same way as this. But I've got some flowers left over for one of the other ones, and I just think it's really nice if you've got some of the, you know, the same decoration left over, then you can decorate, you know, the box there as well a little bit more, the envelope, the gift bag, I mean. So lots of ways to embellish this, and like I said, you might not be adding the acetate anyway, so you don't have to faff about with that like piece here to cover it, because you're not going to see it, but I just didn't want you seeing that through the acetate. Okay, so then if you want to make a slimline gift bag for this size card, which is 8.5 by 7, and that's the 5 by 7 double trifold, then you'll want 2 pieces of 10.5 by 9. Along the 10.5 side, you're going to score at 9 and 10, and then along the 9-inch side, you're going to score at 8. You want to cut them exactly the same way. So I've cut this one here, and you're going to put it together exactly the same way that I showed you with the first one. And then if you want to make a slimline for this size, like I said, there is the gift box for this, which I would put this in an 8 by 8. And if I haven't linked them already, they will be linked or at the end of this video. So this card size is 7.5 by 7. You're going to want 2 pieces of 9.5 by 9. Along the 9.5 side, you're going to score at 8 and 9. And then along the 9-inch side, you're going to score at 8. And again, cut them just as I have here and pop them together exactly the same way. And then it's up to you then if you want to add the acetate and the ribbon. You might want to do paper handles. It's entirely up to you. So I'm going to get those finished and I'll show you what I've done. So that's the bags all finished. You can see with the acetate, it looks really nice. I've got decorative frame on that one and how it looks with, you know, the little bit more of the decoration there. But I think that would look lovely with a gift tag. I like it when there's the sentiment on show. So I think that would look really nice. And then in this one, just to show you how it would look plain, and then you may want to decorate that. But it's also a great size. Maybe you've got a box of chocolates, some very thin, you know, very lightweight clothing wrapped in tissue. That's going to work in these gift bags as well. But I think that one with the acetate, I can see that looking really nice. In fact, I can try it. You can just see it in this one because the colours still all match as well. See how lovely that looks. But I hope that's helped anyway for those that were asking. And yeah, I just think it's a really nice way to finish them off. You put so much work into them, and they are those, like I said, showstopper cards. So I think having something a little bit different to maybe a you know, a traditional style envelope, I think is really nice. And it's a nice little keepsake as well. It protects it if the person does choose to keep it. As always, I will link the product that I've used in the description box below. I'll link the acetate and the eyelets and things like that if anybody's interested. And you'll find the links to the dies that I've used to make these cards for the Showstopper collection. And also, if I remember, I'll link the other tutorials on the channel as well, where I show you how to make them without the dies. So there's something for everybody. So as always, thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed and you've enjoyed today's video, hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell, and that way you won't miss out on any future videos. See you all again soon. Bye.